everyone, so today I'm going to do a bit of not a retraction, that is not the right word, kind of an opposite of another video that I filmed quite recently, which was my overrated products. I'll leave that down below if you haven't seen it, or I will somehow make it clickable on the screen. So in that one I basically talked about a lot of products that I'd found were really hyped up, things that I'd heard so much about and I really wanted to try, and actually when I did they didn't really live up to that hype and they weren't really as good as I was expecting them to be. So I thought I would do the opposite today and talk about products that I didn't really have high hopes for, or that I haven't really heard about anywhere, that in fact really impressed me, and ones that I would just wholeheartedly recommend to go out and try, even if you haven't really heard anything about them. And I actually have a lot less products in this video than I did in the last one. I think it's harder to find an underrated product than it is an overrated one, so I've gone for my top 5 and I'm just going to get started. So the first one is a skincare product. I started with skincare in the other video, so let's keep things the same, and this is from NUXE and it's the Reve de Miel Ultra Comforting Face Cream. Now the NUXE Reve de Miel lip balm is possibly the most hyped up lip balm ever, and that one definitely lives up to the hype. It's amazing, it's really good. Maybe I should do a video about products that do live up to the hype. But really you don't hear much about the rest of the Reve de Miel range, which is a shame because it is an amazing range. There isn't anything from that entire line that I haven't tried and instantly loved. This face cream is so surprising and so good. It's for dry and sensitive skin, and this is just the most moisturising, the most hydrating, beautifully rich, really silky, amazing moisturiser. I just love this so much. It's totally replaced my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream as an everyday moisturiser. I can use it in the day and at night as well, and it just gives my skin such a drink. My skin is very thirsty, it's very dry. It really makes my skin just feel like it's plump and fresh and just really hydrated. I absolutely love it. I think it's just one of the best moisturisers out there, especially if you have dry skin. You just have to try this. The next thing I have is from the Balm, and for some reason it didn't occur to me that the Balm made other beauty products and other makeup products that weren't the Mary Luminizer and Frat Boy blush. Those are the two things that I've used from them and that I've loved, and I just didn't really think that there would be any other makeup. Not sure why. But they do in fact do an entire range of makeup. I've recently started using their eyeshadow palettes. I think they're great, and actually everything that I've tried from them has just been amazing, which isn't really surprising considering they are the brand that makes the best highlighter ever. So this is the Schwing Black Liquid Eyeliner. The name, what's with the name? The packaging on this is pretty hilarious, and I'll let you find that out for yourself if you ever get one of these. But this is a black liquid liner, and it's basically a little dippy pot liner, and I have been known to just never ever get on with those. So the nib of this is almost kind of like a felt tip nib, and the formula is just so good. I have this on now, and I applied this a good, let's see, I applied this at about 10 o'clock today, and it's now, I'm not going to tell you what time it is now, but it's quite late. So I've had this on for a good 12 hours and it has not budged. It's just as black as when I applied it. It hasn't smudged. I haven't even got any transferring on my lids, and I usually always get that with eyeliner after a good few hours of wearing it. So I'm kind of just shocked at how good this is. Also the application is just so easy. It's kind of a slightly bendy felt tip nib, so you can get a good bit of control, but also it allows you to make more of a sharp wing because you don't need to apply a lot of pressure. I'm very particular when it comes to eyeliners, and there's not a lot that I really rave about and really love, but this has just completely wowed me. So if you're an eyeliner fan, if you like your liquid liner, just go and try this out. It's so good. So when I think of Tom Ford, I generally tend to think of their amazing eyeshadow palettes and their fragrances. Those are the two things that people just rave about and love, and things that really stand out. I think it's quite easy for high-end premium brands to have products that just really slip under the radar and things that just don't really get hyped about at all. But these two are some of my absolute favourite nail varnishes. I have a lot of nail varnishes and I do try a lot of different formulas, and I have to say, and this is quite a bold claim, these are probably the best nail varnishes I've ever tried. These go opaque with one coat, and I don't think I've ever come across another nail varnish that I'm happy to just use one coat of and then be done, be out the door. It's really amazing. They're just so pigmented and so rich, and they last for a really long time too. The colours are beautiful. I think they do some really interesting, really different colours. So I have a red and a nude. I think those are two really important staple shades to have. The red is just stunning, and then the nude is so pretty and a little bit different to the kind of regular more beigey nudes like the one I have on at the moment. It's kind of more pink. The formulas are so creamy, they dry beautifully, and I think if you're going to invest in something like a really amazing nude or a really amazing red that you're going to wear over and over again, something that really becomes a bit of a signature nail varnish for you, just look no further than Tom Ford. These are just such good nail varnishes. I feel like I'm cheating just a little bit with this next one because on my channel anyway, this is definitely not underrated. I talk about this so much, but I feel like I'm one of the very few people that really love this and really talk about it all the time, so I thought I would give it a mention. It's the Origins Plantscription Concealer. I'd put this up there with probably my most repurchased products ever. This must be about the 6th or 7th tube of the stuff I've ever had, and it's just the most beautiful, creamy, pigmented, hydrating, just perfect concealer. I've never found a concealer this good. Now, if you have oily skin, this might not be for you. I'm sure you could still get it to work, and I'm sure it would still look amazing maybe under the eyes, but for me this is just such a multi-purpose concealer. I can use it absolutely everywhere. It gets rid of my dark circles, it brightens under my eyes, it covers up blemishes, it gets rid of redness, it just does everything you want a concealer to do. I think this is just one of my top makeup products ever, and I just find it really surprising that more people don't love this and don't rave about it, so I had to give it a mention. It's just the concealer of dreams, and I love it. So last product in my top 5 is an eyeshadow palette, and don't be deceived by this because I think the packaging has changed and actually become a lot more classier than this is, but actually what is inside this is still exactly the same. This is just a very old one and a very well loved one, but this is the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette, and honestly when I think about it, this is my most used eyeshadow palette. I think when it comes to Too Faced and eyeshadows, all the hype really gets eclipsed with the chocolate bar shadows, which are great. I think just all Too Faced shadows in general are really good, but this palette just contains the most perfect colours. There isn't a look or a time of day or an event that you can't go to and not use this. There's some really light, very neutral colours, there's some more wearable everyday shades, and then there's some nice dark kind of smokier colours. So you can do smoky eyes with this, you can do everyday eyes, you can do barely there eyes. There's just nothing that this doesn't do, and the shadows are so buttery. Yes, I'm going to use the word buttery to describe an eyeshadow. They're just so creamy, they're so pigmented, and they blend so beautifully. So this for me is just probably one of the best eyeshadow palettes, but sadly I just feel like this is a very underrated eyeshadow palette. I don't see people talking about it. I don't really ever see it popping up at all. So definitely the perfect thing to mention in an underrated products video because it's just so good, and I feel like more people should appreciate how good this is. So that is a quick little top 5 underrated products for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what your underrated products are as well. I would love to know. I found it so interesting to read all the comments from my overrated products video and all the things that you tried and not necessarily loved as much as you thought you would. So thank you so much for watching. That is it from me today, and I will see you all soon. Bye.